Namaste and Abhinandan to all. Before we start, let's have Waves Kulgeet.
प्रस्तुत है वेव्स कुलगीत।
पुराणों स्मृति ग्रंथों में निहित अमूल्य सार हम जाने, तत्व ज्ञान ही बोध हमारा, वेदाध्ययन है लक्ष्य हमारा। दशकों से है वेव्स दे रहा अवसर चर्चा का, चिंतन का।
दशकों से है वेव्स दे रहा अवसर चर्चा का, चिंतन का।
एक मंच पर सबको लाना ध्येय रहा हर सम्मेलन का, वैश्विक हित कर्तव्य हमारा, भाव पूरित जीवन हो, अनृत मार्ग से दूर रहे हम, चिदानंद गंतव्य हमारा, वेदाध्ययन है लक्ष्य हमारा।
वेव्स है माध्यम जिसका न्यारा,
वेदाध्ययन है, वेदाध्ययन है,
That was Waves' journey through the years, as we can just view that. Now, I would like to invite you all to this Waves webinar series, talk number 15, which is being held here. And this is the joint initiative by the World Association for Vedic Studies USA, which is known as Waves International, along with wider Association for Vedic Studies, that is known as Waves India. Both Waves International and Waves India are multidisciplinary academic organizations renowned for providing scholarly forums to facilitate productive discussion and research on Vedic traditions. This Waves webinar series explores Vedic knowledge through the various scholars and researchers and their thought provoking writings. On that note, on behalf of Waves, I, Dr. Aparna, Lead Secretary, Waves India, welcome everyone attending along with our eminent guest of today's program. Today's webinar focuses on the theme Nachiketa's Three Boons, a Key to Life's Purpose. This presentation asks embark on a transformative journey through the Kathopanishad, where Nachiketa's three boons unlock the profound layers of human existence. This webinar unveils a philosophy that masterfully balances the life complexities, harmonizing duty with relationships, illuminating the cosmic principles that govern our world, and transcending mortality to reveal the eternal self. So, to know more about this particular theme, let's invite our learned speaker of today's talk. We have among us Dr. Kalika Uttarkar ji. We welcome you. Before we start her presentation, let's have her brief introduction. She holds a doctorate in Upanishads and master in philosophy, psychotherapy, and counseling. With over 25 years of experience in soft skills, training, consulting, yoga, and psychology, she has taught and conducted research on Indian philosophy at the university level. She is currently adjunct faculty at Hindu University of America, Florida. Also, she is a certified master practitioner of neuro linguistic programming. She founded Purna Jagruti, an institute focused on self awareness, Upanishads, yoga, and Indian psychology. So, we welcome you, Dr. Uttarkar ji, for today's talk. And one more thing I like to share with our audience that we will have a QA session at the end of the presentation. But those who want to wish to ask question, please use raise hand feature or be crisp while making a question, because or you can ask our question through chat only. So questions related to the speaker's presentation will be entertained, and that should be nearly to the talk that should be covered in the talk only. So we welcome you, Dr. Uttarkar ji. Namaste.
Thank you, Aparna ji, for that generous introduction. And thank you to Waves for having me to speak with everybody today. And I, it is my pleasure and honor to talk in front of all the eminent scholars today. And thank you very much. Let us start with a prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyurma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the story of Nachiketa has always been, it has been always very close to my heart since my childhood. And I don't think it is very much different for you all also. We hear this story when we are very young. We read this story when we become young. And then even as the life progresses, Nachiketa keeps on meeting us. He keeps on talking to us on different issues and different topics. The other day when I was talking with my daughter, she said that Nachiketa, a small young boy, maybe 8 to 9 years of age, but everybody loves him so much, and he has impacted everybody's life, all those who are accustomed to the philosophy of Hinduism. Nachiketa and Arjuna, these are the two characters in our religion, in our Hinduism, that they keep probing us to ask questions, to know more and more, and to be on the path of knowledge and the journey of immortality, from mortality to immortality. So these two characters, they are part of our growing. And Nachiketa, being so young as 8 to 9 years of age, has tremendous impact. And today I thought, let us talk about who Nachiketa is and what are his three boons, and what do they signify, and how do they talk about a journey of life, journey of human development, journey of spiritualism, journey of knowing ourselves. Step by step, beautifully, the story takes us from where we are to where we ought to be. So let me share the slides and we will begin with the discussion. Give me a second. Okay. Can you all see the slide?
Yes.
Okay. So the topic that today we have is understanding what is the purpose of human life. And this is in reference to the story of Nachiketa. So everybody of one, I mean, we all think that life is so important and we want to live life with all its zeal and energy and happiness. And we all are kind of, running behind something to achieve something. Since the day the child is born, parents are interested in knowing how the child will develop and what the child will become when the child grows up. So they take the birth date and go to the astrologer and take out the horoscopes and then try to find out how is the life of the child. So somewhere we all are thinking about a destination, we are thinking about something that is to be achieved. And so what is the purpose of doing this is a very common question that comes into our mind. So generally what happens when people think about this, they are thinking about different kinds of achievements, personal fulfillments, relationships, becoming something. For some people it is larger than life goal. They think about the society, they think about the nation, or they think about their spiritual goals, about understanding themselves, understanding God, Ishwara. And for some people it is very simple, very common, that it is just the biological needs to be satisfied, emotional needs to be satisfied, and take the life as it comes. Punarapi Janmam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam is what Shankaracharya says. Again and again we take birth, again and again we come into this life. We live a decided pattern. Every one of us goes to school. Most of us, I wouldn't say everyone, most of us go to school and then into the college and then get into a career or a business and then earn money and then create our own family, children, and then think about there, it is common and every one of us goes through the same thing. But what is un- what is it when we say what is the purpose of life, what is the meaning of life? It is the question why behind everything. Primarily it is behind our existence. Why do I exist the way I am? Why am living the life that I am living? Why am I born to the parents that I am born? Why I am born in a country called India, called Bharat? Why I am staying the place where I am staying? Why am I related to the people, my children, my siblings, my spouse, my parents? What is the connection and what is the purpose? So in Shvetashvetar Upanishad, it starts with Kim Karanam Brahma Kutasma Jata. Where from is this Brahman? Where from it has come? Where does it go? Where from I come? Where do I go? So all the rishis sit together and they say that could be there is some planning behind it. Could be there is some cause behind it. Some say yadrucha, that it is just nature because of which it happens. So we are trying to find out what is the cause and what is the purpose. What is the ultimate fulfillment? And I feel that generally these questions arise in four kinds of situation. Either when we are faced with tremendous sorrow, frustration, depression, sadness, distress, we feel no, there is nothing left in this life, which we also called as Smashan Vairagya. That is, whenever something very drastically bad happens, we suddenly start questioning our existence, our life, and everything. For some people, it is very transitory phase, but for some people, it is life changing. They start thinking about the purpose of life. For some people, they generally have this curiosity of asking questions why this is like this, why that is like this. Not just material things, but even happenings, relationships, and the overall existence. For some, they realize, they understand the restlessness of their existence and they are looking towards peace. So they want to calm their restlessness and they want to reach to a state where they can stay at peace. So could be that is this point from where they start questioning and asking, what is the purpose of this life? And for some, it is even bigger than that. That is, all these things inspire us, and therefore we come in contact with Upanishad, which is called Kathopanishad, where the story of Nachiketa deals with the similar questions like what is the meaning of life? And most importantly, what happens after death? How do we find the true fulfillment? So, this story I feel is so much in relation to our life. It is beyond time. It could have been 1,000 years back, it is today, or maybe even later. As long as we are existing, we need to understand the cause and the purpose of our life. And therefore, the story is evergreen, and Nachiketa is also evergreen. We can say that he is immortal. Now, when the story begins, he is a son of a Rishi called Vajasravasa. Vajasravasa is a son of Vajasrava. And he has decided to form the Vishwajit Yajna. And while conducting the Vishwajit Yajna, it is expected that he donates everything, dana, sarvasva dana, that he gives away everything that he has. It is a big yajna because this is surrendering the aham. Idam na mama, nothing belongs to me. This is a highly spiritual practice which is to be performed through this yajna. But what is happening? This Vajasravas is giving away all those cows that he is having who are vulnerable. Cows who have drunk water for the last time, eaten grass for the last time, have yielded all their milk and devoid of vigor. Joyless, verily, are those worlds, them he attends who gives this. So, Nachiketa is standing there and he is watching. Now, he is an authentic soul. Authenticity is something which is highly spiritual, one who has connection with one's own thoughts and one's own behavior. So, here, and very important aspect of inner morality is revealed. Morality is not just customary about do's and don'ts, rituals, this, don't do that. No, morality is about our integrity. It is about our authenticity. It is when we are true to ourselves. It is when we behave as we think, when we act as we believe. So this behavioral dissonance is seen by Nachiketa. And he thinks that why my father is doing this? If he has to donate everything, then why is he giving only this useless things that he is having, which will not yield him any benefit? He is giving away those things. So I should protect my father. Otherwise, he will gather all the papam, all the vice, all the demerit. So I should save him. So what if he donates me? So he goes and asks his father. See, so much of responsibility this child has. He has this moral awareness. At the same time, he has this courage to think, and he comes into the solution mode. He goes to his father at the age of 8 and he asks him, whom are you donating me to? The father gets annoyed. But again and again, 3 times, 4 times, he keeps asking. Finally, the father gets annoyed and he says, go, I give you to Yama, to death. Now this is a shock for Nachiketa. He's thinking, I am best amongst the best. Amongst some people, I am the medium, I am the middle range person, but I have never been worst in my life. In spite of that, why my father is giving me to death? Then he thinks maybe because he is angry. But nonetheless, it is my duty to follow his words. And therefore, he goes to Yama. And Yama is out for work. He's on a work trip. And this little child is waiting there. See, the sense of duty, the sense of authenticity, this internalization of morality is of higher level in Nachiketa, which is rare to find even in the grown-up people. So this again reminds me of the concept of adhikar. Who is the eligible person to get the spiritual knowledge? And now if we see how Nachiketa is already prepared, how already he has this abilities of adhikara. Who is a adhikari? Adhikari is one who has mumukshatva, who has viveka, who has Vairagya, and who has this Shat Sampatti, that is Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Santosha, Samadhana. These are all Shat Sampattis. So he has already achieved them. Let us see how it goes ahead. So he goes to Yama and he waits there for 3 days without having water, food, anything. And therefore, when Yama comes, he becomes impressed and he says, "Oh, you are a Brahmin and you are sitting here, and I should not make you sit. But now that you are already there, waiting for me patiently, I grant you 3 boons. So you can ask any 3 boons." Now, here when he says you are a Brahmin, this doesn't mean you are a born Brahmin. In Upanishads, the meaning of Brahmin is Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. One who is having the knowledge of Brahman, one who is in the pursuit of Brahman, he is the Brahmin, and therefore they have to be respected. So, this is a very profound thought which comes from the Upanishads. So, when he's telling Nachiketa, Nachiketa is very prompt. Okay, this is very beautiful. The psychology of a small child is also not ignored. Nachiketa's whole communication is not like an elderly grown up yogi talking to that god of death. No, that innocence, that playfulness, all that beauty is there. So, first boon that Nachiketa asks is that, see, finally, my father has sent me here because he was angry, but now he must be feeling sad. So, I need to resolve that. So, first thing that he asks is, Shanta Sankalpaha Sumana Yatha Syad. So, my father should be peaceful. He should come out of his anger, and therefore he should be cheerful. At the same time, once I go back, he should accept me, not think that this is the ghost of Nachiketa, but he should be able to understand that I am back. He is very uh, intelligent over here. See, he is assuming that Yama will send him back. He doesn't go into frustration, depression, or any sadness. He is not even bothered about that. He's so confident that even when I come to Yama, Yama has granted me 3 boons and I am eligible, and now he will send me back. And it's also very childlike. He says, when you send me back, my father should accept me. He should be happy, cheerful, calm. So many things he's just asking in one boon. This shows his intelligence. Another thing which is very important that I see in this is, we talk about the theory of Purushartha, which comes in our philosophy, Hindu philosophy. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So here he is very dutiful. Before beginning any spiritual endeavor, any journey, moving ahead, first thing that he tries to do is he is doing conflict management. That his father has sent him out of anger, and there is some distress back at home, and he is also having that in his mind. So, first, let me do Shantata at that place, resolve it, bring in some peace. So, resolving the family conflicts, resolving the relational conflicts, fulfilling one's duty as a son. First, he takes care of his father and eventually his family, because he wants them to be satisfied, happy, everything should go fine. So, this is the practicing of Dharma Purushartha. That is his Swadharma as a son, that is his Swadharma as a student. So, first boon, when he asks, it is about dharma, it is about emotions, it is about relations, it is about conflict resolvement. Such a beautiful way of getting all these things done. So, Yama grants him this wish, and he says that your father will be free from anger, anxiety, and he will welcome you back. Now, to make somebody free from anger is such a huge task, isn't it? Many times people are so scholarly developed, they read so much, they speak so much, but spirituality, it begins only when one has conquered one's anger, and which is the most difficult thing. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, we know what Sri Krishna says. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibrama, smriti bhamshat buddhi nasho, buddhi nashat pranashyati. So that's a downfall. It's like the ball being placed on the steps and it just comes down. Similarly, when Nachiketa asks this boon, he's taking care of his father's journey also. This is very beautiful. Then let us come to the second boon. So, O Nachiketa, um, your fire sacrifice, which leads to heaven and which you have chosen as your second boon, people will call this fire by your name. So, through this second question or second boon, what Nachiketa asks is that, uh, tell me about the fire which takes you to heaven. Now, here, understanding Swarga, heaven is not the exact translation. So, let us take this word Swarga. Understanding the meaning of Swarga is coming to a level of prosperity where there is no fear, where everything is fulfilled, where all the resources are in abundance, where I don't have to keep on striving for something. I don't have to fear about small things. That is jara, then anarogya, or small instabilities. All these things are not even there. So they are all taken care. Now, this is considered to be an achievement. In our culture, daridrata or poverty is never celebrated. Rather, prosperity, samruddhi is to be achieved. It is one of the basic purushartha, that is artha, and also kama, that is fulfilling our desires and fulfilling and having the resources to fulfill that. That is artha, that is taken care in the second boon. And second important thing which comes here is that having knowledge about the world is equally important. Nachiketa, Agni is a symbol of the knowledge about the whole world. They talk about the concept of Virat. Once you practice, um, once you own this Agni, understand this Agni, you are closer to Hiranyagarbha, you are closer to Virat. You know everything about the creation of this world, functioning of this world, and how does it get dissolved later on. So the whole of, I would say, scientific knowledge, knowledge about the world interactions, everything is considered to be the intelligence that is called as Nachiketa. Nachiketa is, the meaning of Nachiketa is one who has understood everything. And it is said that this kind of knowledge, it stays into our inner gufa, anta that is called as intellect. So whatever can be known through intellect was given to Nachiketa. And here we come across a beautiful concept, that is Vidya and Avidya, Para and Apara. So further there is a discussion about this. Ishavasyopanishad says, Vidyam cha yastat vedo bhayam sah. So avidya, it takes us from the mortality. It takes us from the fear of death. Avidya is vidya about the world, the worldly knowledge, which is equally important. And Nachiketa is given this knowledge. He asks for it in his second boon. And therefore, this is very significant. People have wrong notions about our philosophy, Vedic knowledge, that they say that normal routine, normal life is not understood. It is not applicable in today's life. It cannot be relevant today. But it is not so. Achieving artha, kama, dharma, not just that, but even knowledge about the world is significant. It is important. Rather, it is considered to be a prerequisite, and therefore it is the second boon. This is the shlok I was referring to. Vidyam cha yastat vedo bhayam sah. Avidya mrutyum tirtva vidya amrutam ashnute. So Vidya and Avidya, they take care of the mortal world. They also take us to the immortality. Similar thought comes in Mundakopanishad also. Tasmai sahovacha Tve vidye veditavye iti hasma yat brahma vido vadanti para chaiva aparacha. Para and apara. So apara is the knowledge about the world, and para is the knowledge which transcends the world and which goes beyond that. So in the second boon, we see that it is taken care that he understands what is apara vidya, he understands which we called as avidya, he understands about the world. Now Yama thinks that this child is satisfied. because I have given him everything that a person needs. And see, this is very important. I thought I would bring up this. There is a definition of what is apara vidya. Rugvedo, Yajurvedaha, Samavedo, Atharvavedaha, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotishmati. These are all apara vidya. Atham, parayaya, tadaksharam adhigamyate. So the knowledge about akshara, knowledge about Brahman, which is called as the para knowledge. So that signifies that now he has to take a next step. And therefore, he comes with the third question, which he asks Yama. Yayam prete vichikitsa manushye. There is doubt that about a man when he is dead. Some say that he exists. Others say that he does not exist. Isn't this doubt prevalent even today? Some people say that death is the end. Some people say no, death is the pause. There is something beyond death also. So people keep thinking about this. But the important thing is a person who dies never comes back and tells us that this is what happens after death. And person who is alive can never talk about it because we have not experienced death. So who will talk about death? Only God of death can talk about it. Therefore, this concept of Yama, Nachiketa Samvada is there. And so he directly asks him, you tell me what happens when a man dies. Some say that he is, some say that he doesn't exist. Now, Yama is really surprised about this. And he says, oh Nachiketa, why are you asking such questions? Even gods are unable to understand it. It is better that you don't ask. I will offer you all the wealth, all the pleasure. I mean, very beautifully, he says that ye ye kama durlabha marte loke sarvan kamas chandata. This is what Nachiketa is saying. Whatever desires are difficult to satisfy in this world of mortals. Sorry, this is Yama who is saying, choose them as you wish. These fair maidens with their chariots and musical instruments, men cannot obtain them. I give you everything. Now, all of us, we see around the world, most of the time, people are craving to get more and more. But we never ever think that let us look at the lives of the people who have achieved this. Are they happy? Do they have this sense of fulfillment? Then what is it that is lacking in their life? This is a very commonsensical question, but we rarely have that uh, peace and Therav is a beautiful word which comes in Hindi, to just have little patience and think about what we are achieving. But when Nachiketa is asking, Yama is again alluring him and telling him, I'll give you all this. But what Nachiketa says, oh death, this endure will only till tomorrow. So everything that is created will end. So whatever you are giving me, even though it is created, even though you say it is endless, but in front of you, it is small, it is limited. The moment it will see you, death, that is dissolution, end, it is going to end. So I cannot run after these things. They are all temporary, transient. I am looking for something that is permanent. And therefore, you tell me what happens after death. He keeps on persistently asking. So, here we see that Nachiketa is already an Adhikari Purusha, where he has so much of curiosity, not just curiosity, but he has this Vairagya also. When everything is offered, is it easy to say no? When somebody says, I'll give you $10 billion, but you do this, how many of the people can say no to it? Or how many things we can say no? If readily given, are we not there to take it? Not all of us, but people like Nachiketa have developed this Vairagya. And Vairagya comes through knowledge. And knowledge is Viveka, discernment. How to distinguish between what is uh, permanent and what is transient. Sat Asat Vivek, as we say, that which is real and that which is unreal. So for Nachiketa, Vairagya looks to be very natural. And therefore he seems to be prepared for the Brahmajnana. And here we come towards the end part of Purushartha, that is moksha. So he is trying to understand now moksha, dharma, artha, kama is taken care. So these three boons, in a way, give us a structure of life. They tell us that first we have to understand what is our duty as an individual, as a family, in our roles, in our worldly life. And we need to satisfy and complete those duties. Swadharma, as it is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Then it says that not just that, we need to be intelligent enough to ask questions and understand different sciences, knowledge even about the world. It's not the game for a lazy soul. It is about the person who is continuously willing to learn. So now Yama tells him about the concept of Shreyas and Preyas. Yama said, the one who can distinguish between Shreyas and Preyas. So Kathopanishad has this beautiful journey which starts with Nachiketa, with all mumukshutva understanding, completing all the purushartha, and now coming to moksha. It just starts without any prelogue. It just says that, okay, one who can distinguish between Shreyas and Preyas is the right adhikari, is the right person. And because you are able to do that, I think I will tell you what happens after death. So, different is the good, and different indeed is the pleasant. These two with different purposes bind a man. Of these two, it is well for him who takes hold of the good, but he who chooses the pleasant fails in his arm. So it is what is Shreyas and what is Preyas? Preyas is that what is pleasant, and Shreyas is that which takes us beyond this world. To give a simple example, I would say that in our day-to-day life, how this becomes relevant. So I understand that meditation is good for my development, good for my health. Pranayam is very important. I should do it every day. So I decide tomorrow morning I'll get up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and I will start with meditation and pranayam. Then in the morning when the alarm rings, I say, no, it's okay. Another half an hour or so, and then I will get up. Now, this is a choice that we make between the Shreyas and the Preyas. Preyas is apparently looking very pleasant. And though we select those, we make those kind of choices. Whether I should have junk food or should I have healthy food? Whether I should do exercise or should I sleep more? Should I react to somebody who is angry or should I take a pause and respond? Should I think about this worldly gains or should I also have this inquisitiveness to find out what lies beyond that? So this is a difference between Shreyas and Preyas. So this is called as Vivek. So if we can decide in our day-to-day life and make better choices, choices that will take us to the Shreyas aspect of it, then Vairagya automatically is, one is prepared for Vairagya. And Vairagya is not a static thing. That today I am practicing Vairagya does not guarantee that tomorrow also I will practice Vairagya. Vairagya is an ongoing process. Every second there are options before us, and every time we make a choice, it is having this Vairagya, whether we are able to choose between what is Shreyas and Preyas. That way it becomes very significant to understand between Shreyas and Preyas. I think my video is off, Aparnaji. Some reason.
Yes.
Is it from my side? Okay.
Now it's fine.
Yeah, now it's fine. So even in Kathopanishad, this concept comes avidya mantare vartamana swayam dhira panditam anyamana. So this is very beautifully said that people who feel that they have learned a lot, they have achieved the avidya, they feel that they are very scholar, openly it says, fools dwelling in darkness, but thinking themselves wise and erudite, go round and round by various tortuous paths like blind led by the blind. So unless and until we realize the limit of our knowledge and we try to go beyond that, this ahankara is never dropped. And then that is the binding limit. So then we just go again and again into life and birth cycle. So he's telling Nachiketa that one who is able to distinguish and also stay on the right path vigilantly, one has to be very vigilant. Otherwise, it is easy to drop. And after that, now he's telling him that na jayate priyate va vipaschinayam kutaschinna bahuva kaschit. So this Atman, self, which doesn't have death, it is neither born nor does it die. So now he starts telling him the answer of his question. So the knowing self is not born, it does not die, it is never created, it is never dissolved. It is the constant reality. And what is the parameter of reality? It has to be now. So, if that is the reality, then anything and everything that is created, that will have end. And this is the meaning which says that Atman is immortal, and whatever else is there other than that is all mortal. And how is it? How big it is? How small it is? So Yama is saying, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. It is smallest of the small and it is biggest of the big. Now see logically and scientifically how beautifully it is said. What can be the smallest of the small? How small? How much can we disintegrate it further to atoms, subatomic particles, electrons, neutrons, whether it's a wave theory or a string theory? What is it? How deep will we go materially? But however deep we may go, as long as it has forms, it will be limited because a form is always created and it has an end. So when it says Anor Aniyan, smallest of the small, it means that it is beyond any form. Similarly, when it says Mahato Mahiyan, how big? How big? So when I say this is a pen, how big is this? This pen is limited by its boundaries. So when I talk about a cloud, cloud is limited by its boundaries. When I talk about a galaxy, huge, vast galaxy, it is also bounded by its boundary. So anything, however big it is, as long as it will have a boundary, it is going to be limited. But this tattva, this vastu, Brahman, Atman is beyond that big also. So 100 galaxies also will be limited because they will also have a form. So that is smallest than the small and biggest than the big. It means that it is homogeneous. It is everywhere at all times. So it is now here, it is everywhere at all times. So this is how Yama is explaining Nachiketa about the reality, about the ultimate reality. And then he says that once you realize this, how do you implement it in your life? And he gives a very beautiful example of a ratha, chariot. So he says that Atman, you just imagine a chariot in your mind. And then see, this Atman is the master of the chariot. I'm driver of my car. I am not the car. I am not the chariot. But body is the chariot. And my buddhi, intellect, is the charioteer who is running everything. Through our intellect, we run our life, isn't it? Through our intellect, we do things. But this intellect is not independent. It is holding the bridle, that is the manas. And this bridle is tied to the horses. Those are my sense organs. And they are running on the path of Vishaya. Those are my desires. So the moment I learn to realize and recognize this, if I can get control over my mind, my intellect is also controlled. If my intellect is controlled, then I reach beyond Vijnanamaya Kosha. In Taittiriya Upanishad, they talk about Pancha Kosha. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. So we live on these different levels of awareness. The moment we transcend one, as we change the gear, in earlier days, vehicles used to have gears. Now it is automated. But the moment you change the gear, we get into a different realm of awareness. And this is what Kathopanishad is telling us, that understand the whole system, get into control of yourself. So, in a way, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, everything is taken care. There is a purpose to life, there is a meaning to life. That when I am in this life living, I should perform my duties, I should stick to my roles, but not get confined by them. And also try to ask questions and try to find what is the ultimate reality. So it is very beautifully said, if the buddhi yastu vijnanavan bhavati yuktena manasa sada, if the buddhi being related to a mind that is always restrained, it possesses discrimination, that is vivek, then senses come under control like the good horses of the charioteer. But if your intellect, if our buddhi is related to the distracted mind, then it loses its discrimination, that is viveka. Therefore, always remains impure, confused, doubtful. Then the embodied soul never attains the goal. Now, this exactly happened with Vajasrava. He was such an intelligent Rishi, but moha is a very um, it is what you can. It's an enemy which can creep in any time, and this it will create akarshana, attraction. So he was attracted, he was attached to his wealth, that in a way he found a shortcut of giving away cows which are no longer going to exist after few days or maybe few hours. And then in a way he was fooling himself. So there was a behavioral dissonance. So that is an example of a buddhi which forgets, because mind is not under control. When mind is not under control, buddhi loses its power, intellect loses its power, and therefore, what happens is this dissonance is created and the track is changed. So, rather than being on the path of knowledge and happiness, the train derails. So, very beautifully, it is said, Indriyabhya para hyarto arthabhyascha param manaha, manasastu para buddhir, buddhiratma mahan para. So, beyond the senses are the objects, beyond the object is the mind, beyond the mind, the intellect, beyond the intellect, the great Atman. And beyond the great Atman, the unmanifest. Beyond the unmanifest, the Purusha or the Brahman. And beyond the Purusha, there is nothing. That is the supreme goal. So, this is the purpose of life. This is what the three boons of Nachiketa tell us. And therefore, what ultimately is important, even Vivekananda often quoted this, Uttishtita Jagruta Prapya Varan Nibodhata Kshurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya Durgam Patastha Kavayo Vadanti. Arise, awake, approach the great and learn. Like the sharp edge of the razor is this path. So the wise say hard to tread and difficult to cross. Because continuously we need to make our choices and stay on the right path. So I feel that the story of Nachiketa is continuously reminding us to realize who we are, understand who we are, and what is our destination. So beautifully, the story, it brings in all the fundamental principles of our philosophy, of the Upanishadic philosophy. It is so relevant today, and it is also very inspiring. So, this is what I would like to share about Nachiketa and his three boons, and try to show how it is significant for us today also, how it inspires us to practice the Shreyas and Nishreyas discrimination, Vivek. Thank you for your patient listening, and I'm open to questions.
Um, Thank you, Dr. Kalika ji. And as you mentioned in the starting only, that Kathopanishad is not new for the people who are related to, who are in the field of Vedas. But again, this is the way you have presented in a very simpler and I should say that in a very sweet manner. You have explained all the three boons which were given to Nachiketa, and it is full of information, and again with a lot of information related to the etymological meanings of certain words like Nachiketa or the who is Brahm, or who can be known as Brahman. So many other thoughts were there. So I don't want to be in uh, the mediocre in between. I would certainly say that I should invite questions for from the audience so that we can have more good interaction on the subject. So, any questions, please? Yes, Dr. Arora ji, you are welcome.
Namaste. This was really a fantastic talk. I missed the earlier part of it as I was tied up with work. But would the recording be available for us to listen in time to
Yes,
time?
yes, definitely it is there. It is getting live on YouTube, on our Waves YouTube. So we will share the recording also.
Okay,
And I will request I would request my host that kindly share it link in the chat box.
in the chat box. Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Ji. Any other question?
In chat, I think somebody is saying, can you summarize the three boons?
Can you if you can summarize the three boons? Oh, that is the main talk even.
Uh,
The three boons
so,
were the talk.
yes, so I will just mention it very briefly. First boon was Nachiketa said that I should be able to go. I mean, when I go back to my father, he should be very happy, peaceful, calm, and he should accept me, and he should be able to conquer his anger. And Yama says, Tathastu, your father will be as you wish. He will accept you. So this was the first boon. Second boon was he asked the question, teach me about that fire which can take me to heaven. So Yama is saying that yes, that fire, and so he gives him all the knowledge about the worldly things. So whenever this concept of heaven comes, it is full of resources, prosperity, samruddhi, unending happiness as it is understood. But Nachiketa understands that this is not unending, but he studies everything. So this is named after him, Nachiketa Agni. Nachiketa is one who knows everything. So he learns about the avidya, about the worldly sciences. This was the second boon. And third boon is he asks what happens after death. So now he is asking about the spirituality. And then Yama tells him about nature of Atman and how it has to be brought into our action. So this way, all these three boons are related to Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So it gives a structure of human life. So just try to brief it everything.
Yes. And also the link is shared in the chat box, and you can view that. And you told about the meaning of Purushartha. You have cleared about the meaning of authenticity, how authentic the first boon itself shows the authenticity of Nachiketa, even as a child. So I invite any other question so that we can have a detailed conversation. Yes, Arora ji,
I
Yeah,
please.
asked.
Dr. Dhir, you indicated, is there a YouTube channel for this Waves seminar? Like, I'm pretty sure there are other webinars also.
Yes, yes. The link I have just shared, it is related to the Waves YouTube channel only.
Okay, all right, okay. So from there, I can find the other talks.
Yes, the playlist, even we have the playlist of Waves webinar there.
Uh-huh.
And I again request the host if, no, that is not possible right now because the program is going live.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can explore the channel. It is having more than 400 videos.
Sure. And one more thing. There are conferences that are held by Waves. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, you can find that information on our website currently.
Okay.
Currently, let's have the discussion on the
Okay.
topic first.
Sure.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Now the another question, I invite Dr. Nidhi ji, please.
Namaste, Dr. Kalika, madam. Namaste. It was a very interesting, very insightful session. When we are looking at the different schools of Hindu philosophy, the Shad Darshan, can we say that I get confused with the understanding of para and aparavidya. So is this understanding and all these major concepts that you have so wonderfully elucidated, Brahman, Atman, Shreyas, Preyas, are these all consistent through the different schools of Hindu philosophical thought? Or
Uh,
are there some discussions and debates and varying ideas across the philosophical spectrum?
Okay, so see, we have Shad Darshana, which starts with Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttar Mimamsa. So these are Shad Darshana. So when you study Shad Darshana, initially you also study the Nastika Darshana. Nastika Darshanas are those who do not believe in the Vedas completely. So they are Charvak, Jainism, and Buddhism. So in all, there are 9 schools. And when you study that, what we see is that they have different methodologies and ways of understanding reality. And for that, what is important are pramanas. So some darshanas will believe only perception as a source of knowledge. Some darshana will believe in logic like nyaya. Some will also believe into comparison. And then later, some of them will believe in 6 pramanas. So it is a detailed understanding of the epistemology, metaphysics, and ethics. But in common, all of them are talking about the ways to conquer sorrow, how to remove sorrow in our life, and how to reach to that state of being sorrowless, of being peaceful. So for some, God exists. Okay, some darshanas do not believe in God. Some darshanas trust Ved, some do not trust it completely. Some totally reject it. Some talk about Brahman as the ultimate reality. Vishishta Advait will say no, it is about the Ishvara, that is Sri Krishna. Okay, so Madhvacharya talks about dualism. So all of them will have discussions and very logical talk about all these issues. So studying Shaddarshana is also very interesting because that forms the foundation of total philosophical understanding. Now, all this have generated from the Ved and Upanishads. Now, when you read Upanishads, you will see that seeds of all these darshanas are there. So there are these different concepts. So it is very beautiful to see that how these concepts come from Upanishads, but each Rishi, like Kapila Muni, Gautam Rishi, Patanjali Rishi, they have formulated and formed a structure of these concepts. They haven't invented it, but they have formulated this school of thought, and very beautifully they go. And we were very open as scholarly civilization. We had this concept of Purva Paksha and Uttar Paksha. So this kind of debates and discussions keep going. But once you study all the darshanas, you will see that they are like mosaic. You know, different pieces placed in different places, it completes the picture. This is how human intelligence, it thinks about, it questions about the world, and it tries to find answers. So that way it is very enriching. And you will find all these concepts discussed there. So
Thank you so much for your response. And I'm looking forward to the Sharddarshan course that you're doing because I've registered for it. Thank
sure,
you.
sure. Most welcome.
Yes, and now again there is a question from Dr. Tiwari, Shashi Tiwari, Madam, President Waves India. Do you think Nachiketa got two, three other boons also from Yama?
I feel that when he asked these 3 boons, he got 6, 7 boons from Yama. So he was so intelligent to ask the questions in the way he has asked that he got everything that he really wanted and it required. So that,
I think some of the boons were hidden
yes,
while asking for the major ones. So
major one.
minor boons were there also, like you talk about Purushartha. That was again hidden, and the family conflict and the relationship conflict should be settled down first before going for any other piece.
More we
So
think about each boon, I think we can come up with so many layers of questioning and layers of answering that it takes care of the very prosperous worldly life. At the same time, it takes care of the spiritual aspect of it. It talks about the physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual growth on all aspects. So I think this is a very profound symbol of this. I mean, it's very symbolic and it is very profound. Uh, so Thank you,
Yes.
Shashiji, for asking this question.
And can you narrate them one by one?
Sorry, I didn't hear
Can
that.
you narrate those uh, other bones also? Can you tell them?
Okay. So when he asked for the first boon, he asked that I should be able to once I go back. So there the boon is that you are granting me life again. So that was very clever of him to assume that Yama will send him back. So first thing he did was once I go back. So he
Good.
asked life for the first time. Then he said that my father should be pleasant and happy and peaceful. This itself are three boons. Because a person, if he has to be pleasant,
Yes,
he
yes.
has to conquer his anger and all the shadripus. So he took care of his father's spiritual welfare also. Then he
And
said he should accept,
recognize me. He should.
recognize me.
So it means the same body, same face.
Same face. Yes.
It is very, very clever.
Very
Very clever.
profound. Yes. That once
In the
he
second boon, then again, name as you told, that is one. Name was given Nachiketa Agni.
Nachiketa. Yes.
And finally, when he tells again his lesson to Yama, he gives him his own garland.
Yes.
Yes, and it says also that is a boon.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
now there are 6 boon, 6, 7. Yeah,
Yes.
very good, very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Shashiji, for your insights. Thanks.
Very
Yes, and as you all know that Madam Tiwari ji is an international scholar of Vedas, and she has deep understanding of all the Upanishads. And as Dr. Uttarkar, it was like an exam ma'am was taking and asking to tell me the minor boons which were hidden in the major boons.
I was
So
taking test. Yes.
yes, I
Now,
understand, ma'am, because I am also your
She is
student.
100. She is 100 out of 100.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm honored, Shashiji. Thank you so much.
Yes. So now we have another. I'm looking for the other questions also, if there are, because we have Dr. Professor Kaushal ji with us. We have Dr. Minati Rat ji and Dr. Masmi Chattopadhyay ji or Dr. Ashalata Pandey ji, Dr. Dharma ji from the Waves India group. So if any one of them is interested in asking any question, so please most welcome.
And can I say something?
Sure, ma'am. Please.
And Kalika, you was telling that 4 dharma, arth, kam, moksha, 4 purusharthas. So 4, how can you connect 4? Earth, how you will connect earth?
So when in the second boon,
And moreover, purusharthas are not a concept of Vedas and Upanishads.
yes, yes.
It is just in the beginning of making.
Yes, yes. It is in the it is just the yes, absolutely. I agree to that. That this is the genesis of the Purushartha theory, which was developed later. So this was a beginning, insight, I would say. And
Reflections are there. Reflections are there.
reflections are there. So why I was trying to connect is that when we talk about Vidya and Avidya, when the second boon is all about Avidya. So Nachiketa Agni is all that. Nachiketa Agni resides in the intellect, in Prajnanam. That is the reference. So if this intellect or Prajnanam is to be conquered, if it has to be developed, then through Prajnanam, through Buddhi, what is it that we can understand is all that is created. Because in heaven also, if this Agni takes us to heaven, then it is just extending the boundaries of the knowledge, but it is not going beyond the boundaries. So from that perspective, this is about avidya, this is about the aparavidya, this is about understanding the worldly sciences, and that is significant. Now, with the help of this only, artha and kama can be fulfilled. A lazy person who doesn't want to study, who doesn't want to act, can never fulfill artha, can never complete one's desire. Even to complete them, one needs to have knowledge. And knowledge about the worldly things therefore becomes very significant. So I thought of connecting it to the artha and kama purushartha. But it doesn't stop there. After accomplishing this, tatah kim, what next is there? And therefore, what happens after death comes the third question and the third boon.
And
Yes, all
again,
the
I am asking, can you connect this concept of Kathopanishad with Jnana Karma Samuchaya theory?
Yes, 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 we can connect it. It has to be both karma and jnana together.
Karma is in the second boon and the
Second
Jnana
boon.
is in.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And so we can say that all the wounds are in step by step in
Yeah.
ascending order,
Huh.
Yes, yes.
to reaching to the higher knowledge, supreme
Higher
knowledge.
Yes.
Yes. So that is also one of the quality of the student. When we are asking question to our teachers, we have to be moved step by step, not just go to the final one and without knowing the basics. So that is again learning. These kind of learnings are there in the Upanishads only,
Yeah.
where a Guru Shishya Parampara is well taught.
Yes. So the concept of adhikari, which is referred by Shankaracharya, one has to be
Yes.
eligible to get and hold the spiritual knowledge. That holding will not happen even if somebody is curious and asks the question. But if that endurance is not there, patience is not there, so it's so beautiful, you know. We have a
Yes.
perfect balanced philosophy. And we talk about Western psychology, but I feel we have such a profound psychological insight in all our philosophical discourses and dialogues, that human mind is beautifully understood, and where it can derail, where it can stand, and how far it can go. It's, I think that is a beautifully understood. Only the thing is, we need to bring out the small details and make them explicit. But otherwise, implicitly, we have a profound psychological understanding, without which so much of philosophical dialogue would never happen.
Yes. So again, I request if any other question is there, or anything any opinion you'd like to add, anybody? Yes, yes, Professor Kaushal sir, most welcome. Sir, you're muted.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita carries the capsule wisdom
Yes.
of our Vedic scriptures. So I think the psychology of highest degree is beautifully described in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Yes.
And I have worked on this and compiled a book. I gave you a publicity paper during the
Yes,
in
we
Florida.
met in Florida. I remember.
Kindly try to have a copy and look into it, and I shall welcome your comments. Of
Sure.
course, it is written by a physicist. Language is different. Mathematical contents are there. You can avoid, and still you can find
Sure.
something.
I
And
will look into
I
it.
shall
Yes.
welcome your comments
Sure.
sometime.
Thank you. I'll look into it.
Thank you very much. It was a beautiful presentation of the deep-rooted ideas,
Yes.
particularly the example of chariot. I think well quoted everywhere. So
Yes.
all Mahatma saints cite this example. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question, Aparna?
Yes, Dr. Pandeyji, you are most welcome. And then we will take an question from
Yeah.
Dhirendra Shah sir.
Yeah,
Sure.
yes. I was wondering, can Dr. Kalika or Professor Shashi Tiwari tell me the etymology of the word Nachiketa? It's a name though, but I was wondering what can it mean?
I think
Thank you.
Shashi will be the right person, because when she's there, I will not talk.
Okay.
A person the person who Nachiketa. Chiket means knowledgeable. Nachiket
Okay.
means not knowledgeable. Who is not knowledgeable but who wants to be knowledgeable, or who wants to get knowledge. So he has a curiosity. That is the meaning. Nachiketa.
Thank you.
Message is
Oh,
given there on the now because he
oh,
don't know and he wants to know.
to
That
know.
is the
Okay.
right person to know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Namaste.
And the other thing is that the person who is asking the question, how much he knows. So he knows
Yeah.
up to the second boon, up to the
Okay.
second he knows that the goal of the human life is liberation. That is gained through self-realization. But for self-realization, Chitta Shuddhi is very important. Purification of mind is very important, and that comes from karma. So he knows up to the karma. That is Nachiketa's Agni,
Agni.
the second. So
Wonderful.
as she was telling, the speaker was telling that very systematically journey of a person who who wants to go up and up and up. It is described there, and a story is there to explain it in an easy way, in a very attractive way. So
Okay.
Kathopanishad is regarded as a very important Upanishad among all the Upanishads.
Okay. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Bye bye.
Yes. And now we can have that was well explained by Dr. Tiwari, madam. And now we can have another question from our Dhiru Shah, sir. And I welcome him.
Thank you. I just wanted to check whether Vedas predate Upanishads and what would be the timeline?
According to the English scholars, whatever they say, we cannot stick to that. But few scholars have taken the timeline of Ved and Upanishad to back as 20,000 years back. Some say it is 10,000 years back. So, I mean, that is a different scholarly attempt that they are making. So, what I feel is, no, I'm not the scholar who can actually talk about the dating aspect of it. There are so many scholars who
I
talk
agree.
about it. But from a philosophical perspective, when we say Ved are Sanatana, that they are always there. I feel that Ved is like an encyclopedia where continuously the churning of knowledge is happening. There are questions, there are answers, and it is also a beautiful journey which starts from Brahmana, Samhita, Aranyaka, and then Upanishad. So these are different four steps. That will also be a beautiful discussion if we try to make it, how we start our life with doing small actions and then later on learn to find the meaning of those actions, and then when we see this limit and scope of those actions, how we transcend those actions. So this all takes us from the physical to emotional to intellectual to spiritual growth. So I feel this is also compactly designed, and that way it is understanding how human brain also tries to find the reality, investigate different questions. So I feel Ved, though they existed at, we try to find some date, even today we are going through the same process. When an individual starts the process of knowledge, it starts with the material things, then it starts getting awestruck by the natural powers, then we start to find the reasoning behind them, and then we come to the scientific development, and then today when we say that this is the hard problem of consciousness, as neurology says, what is consciousness, how do we understand the relation between the single and subjective existence, how do I understand that, and how is AI connected to it. So science is also going through the same process, philosophy also goes through the same process. Ultimately it is about finding the reality. So I feel that way Ved Upanishad knowledge is Sanatana. But I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to add much on the dating aspect because I'm
No,
not
I
scholar.
understand that. Thank you so much. I think it was an excellent presentation. I really appreciate that. one of the very few ones which we have come across where you have done a very clear, precise way of talking about the Upanishad, this particular Upanishad. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shri Shahji. And now I request any other question is there for the speaker, or we can conclude the session. I think there is no other question. So, Dr. Tiwari, ma'am, do you want to conclude with your remarks?
I wish that you have seen Vedanta scriptures, Brahma Sutra.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you should. Are you following Shankar's Advaita Vedanta?
Mostly yes.
So
But I also look into other.
I want to know what is your next Upanishad. You are studying nowadays.
Okay, so I keep reading all the 11 Upanishads. I like all of them, but now I'm trying to. Past few years I'm also trying to learn other Upanishads than the major 11 Upanishads. So yeah, that is my journey. I want to not just talk about these major 11 Upanishads, but even there are so many beautiful Upanishads. So next in the Hindu University, I'm starting a course with another 6 Upanishads, which are not normally taken. People don't know much about it, but they are beautiful. Vajrasuchika Upanishad is one of that, which I'm trying to bring it.
Firstly, you should complete 10 Upanishads, principal Upanishads.
That is the lifetime journey, ma'am. Each Upanishad, Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Munda, Mandukya, all of them.
And very confusing is karma gyan relationship.
Yes.
So this has to be very clear, and that can be only done by Shankar's Vedanta.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So my all the best wishes are with you.
Thank you so much.
And with I think with these words, because ma'am has already given the best wishes to the learned speaker of today's webinar. And with these words, and I think now all the comments in this
वरना जी
and the जी
नमस्ते। मैं क्षमा चाहूंगा, मैं थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन किया हूँ। एक प्रश्न उपनिषद
हाँ
के बारे
जी
में आया था। एक छोटा सा प्रश्न है कि श्वेताश्वर उपनिषद में योगाभ्यास को 4 चरणों में अच्छी तरह समझाया गया। छाती, गर्दन और सिर को स्थिर रखना, इंद्रिय और मन को हृदय में प्रवेश करना। हृदय में प्रवेश कैसे होता है, क्या मतलब है? ये हृदय क्या है? ये हार्ट, इसका क्या तात्पर्य क्या है? व्हाट इज दिस हृदय जिसका उपनिषद में वर्णन है?
त्रिरुन्नतम शरीरम, ये जो श्लोक है श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद में आया है, जिसमें हमें इस तरह से बताया गया है. But I would say answering this question would be my pleasure. But Aparna ji, this would really take a long time. Like गुहायाम अंतरे, जो ये कहाँ रहता है, ये आत्मन कहाँ है, ये समझने के लिए even in Kathopanishad, it says when your all the knots in your heart are untied. So what does that mean when all the knots in your heart are untied? Sometimes they say that this is angushta matram. So this Atman resides in your. So ये कहाँ रहता है? So it says that when, okay, this comes from the yogic perspective, as I understand. I feel that when we are sitting in this posture and when we are looking inward, what we see is there's a lot of restlessness going to the subtle level. This restlessness goes to the creation of our thoughts. So our thoughts are to be perceived from a witness point of view, observing our thoughts. So that starts with pranayam, but later on when we do a lot of pranayam and then we come into the stage where we are observing, the whole point of Upanishadic philosophy is to come outside the process, the knower and the known. Drishyatrik Vivek is a very beautiful creation of Shankar, a creation in Vedanta philosophy, which talks about the subject, the thing that is happening, the creation that is happening, and the witness of the creation. So Shweta Upanishad is also talking from this perspective that this creation has to be witnessed. Now the creation is from the, it goes to the subtlest level to the thought, where thoughts are created. So when we observe this thought, what happens is we go beyond cause, time, space, everything. That is how Brahman is also described, which is beyond cause, which is beyond space, which is beyond time. Now, all that experience comes to us when we focus on our thoughts and we come out of that chain of thought and start observing those thoughts. So, that is where we come into present tense. We are neither in the future, we are neither in the past. When any thought is created, then it is bound by time because it has creation, it has end. But when we come out of that chain, we are out of time, out of causation, and then we are sthira, or we are with ourselves. So that is when we are closer to our Atma. So that form of meditation is suggested in the Shweta Upanishad.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And that is the beauty of Upanishad, that they have explained each and every aspect of our journey, our existence, in a very elaborated manner. And though Dr. Kalika ji has to present on Kathopanishad, but she has given her opinion on and even that discussion took the discussion to the Shweta Upanishad also. So we are very thankful and grateful to Dr. Kalika Uttarkar ji for giving her, accepting our invitation and giving this wonderful talk and enlighten us with so much information. And also we are also thankful to the learned audience with us, among us, uh, from Waves India as well as Waves International, and those who are watching us on Waves YouTube channel. So again, now we are concluding with this, and then again in May 2025 with our another learned speaker. We will be there on the first Monday of May 2025, and soon all the details will be published to you. And today also I have published Waves India, Waves International, and Waves blog link in the chat box. So do keep in touch with us for more. For all this information, and keep watching our YouTube channel for the playlist having all the Waves webinar talks available there. Thank you very much. Thank you to all.
Thank you,
Good night
Aparna ji,
to
Shashi ji, and thank you all the eminent scholars for your patience and understanding. Looking forward to meet you again. Thank you.
Ji. Okay. Thank you and namaste.